Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me at Boxing Ego. Now, Virgil Hunter of the Bay Area, Hall of Fame trainer in the making, to Andre Ward and a slew of others, but just in his gym recently, he did an interview with ESPN Deportes, and he spoke on Canelo and Chavez and that whole situation. And this was at the Danny Jacobs Media Week. And what he says, and I'll pull some quotes, and I want to give my thoughts on it. He says, "What Canelo Alvarez is doing is a real mockery for the sport. He can claim his right to be treated as the star of the promotion. What he cannot demand is that he is considered among the best fighters in the world, when for every fight he has all kinds of demands. He wants all kinds of concessions to the opponent. Truly, it is something unfortunate for boxing. As we all know, he is exercising his right to be considered the A-side in his bouts. But because boxing is like this, and as long as he stays in control of that situation to have the promotional advantage, what he is doing is a real mockery for boxing. Because when we talk about real boxers, they do not do that sort of thing." And then he was talking about Chavez just kind of battling Canelo and the skills. Whenever a boxer is forced to drop so many pounds to make weight in a fight, he will pay the price. And from the moment Chavez agreed to the fight that weight, he has been in a precarious situation. If he is able to reach the weight gradually without having to lose so many pounds at one time and manages to recover properly after going on the scale, he may have some chance of winning, right? So I want to stop right there. ESPN Deportes, shout out to them. And hey, it's what I've been saying, what most people have been saying, unless you're a one-sided, I only like one fighter type of thing. And it's funny to me because when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo, he moved up and Canelo moved down 2 pounds. Canelo aged 23, so 2 pounds shouldn't kill him because he's so young, right? And when you're young, your body is more pliable, more flexible. You can punish your body. That's why a lot of like rock stars or whatever, if they tried drinking and smoking and doing drugs and the stuff that they did hardcore when they were younger, then, you know what I mean, they try to do that when they're 60 and stuff, it might not look pretty. They might OD or whatever the situation. So bottom line is your body's more flexible. It's more forgiving when you're younger. Like if you're even having a hard day's work at age 21 versus having a hard day's work for my pops or something, or like, you know what I mean, like somebody who's 50, 60 years old, they'll probably feel it different. Like, you know what I mean, have a day of nothing but manual labor. That's what comes with age. Your testosterone levels drop, things slow down, you start to feel aches and pains and stuff more. And Floyd fought Canelo at that catch weight. He moved up, and Floyd had already been at 154 2 times. These are facts. Oscar De La Hoya and Cotto. Then he fought Canelo at the 52. And for what it's worth, in my opinion, I don't think the fight would have been any different, because bottom line, Canelo could not hit Floyd. So even if he was 2 pounds heavier, I don't think it would have made any difference. If anything, it might have even slowed him up. The biggest problem with Canelo not beating Floyd is not that he's not a good fighter, it's his slow feet. He can't get in position, he has to keep resetting, and Floyd kept him resetting all night. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think 2 pounds would have made him so strong that he would have been a, you know what I mean? He already had snap, he already outweighed Floyd by like 15 pounds when he rehydrated. He was already younger, 13 years younger, etc. And people had a problem with it. But now all of a sudden, some of the diehard Canelo fans, they don't have a problem because Canelo's moving up 10 pounds and Chavez is moving down. Now, I understand Canelo's moving up so much weight, but at the same time, he's having everything his way in promotion, everything, right? And he's dealing with a guy with known weight issues. To my knowledge, that I can remember, when Canelo at age 23 fought Floyd Mayweather, I don't remember him having a lot of weight issues and problems. I don't remember him being problematic on the scale, missing weight, like we know Chavez to have done, and been lazy in certain situations and certain fight camps and getting DUIs in the Andy Lee training camp and stuff like that in Miami, right? So Chavez has had a history and it sounds like you're trying to exploit that. The fight was contracted at 165, where that's what Chavez said he would be willing to concede just to make the fight. And last minute, they said, hey, make 164.5. So all the contract changes, all the new amendments and clauses. Chavez is on record. He did an interview with ESPN, and he basically said, we're fighting for pride because they're taking 80% of the bag. They're getting the most money. They're having everything their way. We just agreed to everything. That's how badly we wanted the fight. And Chavez Sr. confirmed it. And I mean, his actions confirm it. Like, why would he? Because most people think weight could be an issue for him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, clearly he's rich. He was born rich. His dad was rich, probably by the time he was born, because he was probably had like 89 wins in a row or something at that time where he was born. I don't know the exact years, but Chavez Sr. has been a prize fighter. So the bottom line is he came into money, so it can't be for that. I mean, he's more well off than probably most people who are going to comment on this video. So I do believe the Chavez is, when they say that he's fighting, he wants to fight, he took the fight and gave into everything just to make the fight, because he knew if it didn't go his way, it wouldn't happen. And another reason I believe this to be true is because we interviewed, there's a roundtable we did with Amir Khan, and it was at one of the Ward fights, and Khan said basically the same thing, who's coincidentally a Virgil Hunter fighter as well. He says, this is right before after the announcement of Canelo Khan, and he says, we wanted to make it a catch weight of 152, 153 instead of the full 155 Canelo weight, and they said take it or leave it. Nope, he's not giving in. We're not doing any rehydration clauses. It is what we want, or that's it. And same thing with Golovkin. You know what I mean? Whether you agree, I do think $15 million is a comfortable offer. But then again, on the Golovkin side of things, why are you imposing such a strict flat rate for him only? But other people probably have more of a random negotiation. Golovkin is a star. He's the B-side in that equation, but he's still growing. He signed to Team Jordan, and he's selling out on the East Coast, West Coast. Just did a sellout in the UK versus Kell Brook. So it's not like he's like a bum in terms of his celebrity. He does have star power. He does have drawing power. Maybe not pay-per-view, because his David Lemieux fight didn't do great numbers. But we'll see what Jacobs does versus Golovkin. But the bottom line is he's still popular enough where people know the name and are starting to become more familiar. But he is, in that equation, the B side. And again, why is it so imperative that you get the 15 million flat rate for him? Why didn't you offer everybody a flat rate? You know what I'm saying? That, like, if that was your negotiating tactic, then that'd be one thing, but it's not. So, I mean, I agree with Virgil Hunter. Canelo is kind of him and his team. It's like they want to be A side so bad that they're like abusing their power with it. You know what I mean? It's like they're having a power trip. Like, I understand certain things. Like, Cotto did certain little things. Like Cotto Martinez, instead of Sergio was the champion. Instead of fighting at the full 160, he made Sergio come down to 159. Okay, 1 pound. That was just petty, but I mean, it's not that big. But making Chavez, from what he last fought, come down like 4 pounds, even though you're moving up, it's just it's one thing after another. He's getting 20%, and it's going to be a big event during Cinco de Mayo. So, I mean, I agree with what Virgil Hunter is saying in terms of it does. It's kind of a black eye on the sport of boxing. Canelo's a good fighter. He's a hell of a fighter, but that's the thing. He's such a good fighter. I don't think he needs to even do some of these things. Like, some of it just seems borderline petty. Like, you're going to make him lose 0.5 of a pound? Like, really? If you could beat him at 164.5, you could probably beat him at 165. If anything, it's just trying to give yourself a strategic edge and really tap him as much as you can. Because you know 165 is probably going to be a chore. It has to be a concerted effort to make 165, let alone 164.5. And I think their Team Canelo got slick, and that's why they're doing it. Like, if you know anything about cutting weight, if you're already like tapped and your body is going to reach a certain point and then reject anything past that, and then to go beyond that, if you know anything about fitness, then it requires you to deteriorate muscle mass. And that's where it gets dangerous, because you're really going to be weakened and stuff like that, because you start digging into different tissues and stuff. Because if the body's like, this is all I can give you, we're done, I'm dry, and you're like, nope, I got to make weight, give me more, then where is the body going to pull it from? It's going to start eating itself and deteriorating your muscles. You know what I'm saying? Because it has to pull the weight from somewhere. If it has nowhere else to pull from, where is it going to get get it from? You know what I mean? It's going to pull it from somewhere else, which is like your muscle groups. So it is what it is. That's what Virgil Hunter says. He's making a mockery. I mean, and he's negotiated. Him and his team have negotiated with Canelo. So it's not like he's just a complete outsider. He's been opposite Canelo twice, at least. The Angulo fight, and then also the fight with Amir Khan. They were both with Hunter at the time. So it's not like he's like a foreigner and he's just from a complete outsider looking in, never dealt with the man and never heard, you know what I mean? He's a trainer. He might not be in the negotiating room per se, but you still get word back of what the opposite side is trying to do and stuff like that. So I just hope for a competitive fight May 6th, and hopefully these tactics, like, I don't know. Like, the other thing is why you don't want to get in the habit of A-siding everyone to the highest of degrees is because, let's say you said his team, Eric Gomez of Golden Boy, said the goal is to fight for Canelo, if he gets past Chavez, to fight Golovkin in September. Now, Golovkin's not going to fight you at 164.5. He has, like, if he beats Jacobs, that'll be a consolidation, and he'll have all belts except for Billy Joe Saunders' belt. So why would he go to 164.5, a weight class you made up? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I think the reason why Canelo's getting so much shtick for it is because it's a continual thing. If you look at people scream Mayweather because they hate Mayweather. Oh, Mayweather versus Marquez. They don't take into consideration that he was retired for 21 months, so he was off the couch and he fought Marquez and missed weight. So yeah, being inactive, that's probably why he missed weight, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't as active, and so when he was making weight, there was maybe like a slight mishap, and he came in a little heavy, paid the penalty, and he tore Marquez up. And I don't care what anyone says, I think that was a difference in skill more than the weight. Floyd doesn't even have a style where weight really factors in. He's not like Klitschko versus Povetkin, where he's leaning on him and using his body weight and clinching. He's not really doing all that to the point where it would weaken Marquez. He was just too fast for Marquez, too athletic, too precise, bigger, longer reach, etc. But anyway, people love bringing up Mayweather versus Marquez because that was a catch weight off of almost a 2-year retirement. And they love bringing up the Canelo fight, right? Even though Mayweather's been in the sport 19, 20 years of proven, decorated work or whatever, they bring up those two fights. Yet Canelo, for this will be, I think, his 6th fight in a row was at a catchweight. Let's count. Floyd Mayweather, that was at a catchweight, 152. Then after he fought Angulo. Then after he fought Lara. These are all catchweight fights that I'm naming, right? He fought Lara. Then he fought Kirkland, right? After that, he fought Liam Smith, and now he's fighting Chavez Jr. That's 6 fights in a row at catchweights. Most of them were at 155. The Floyd was at 152, and then now he's moving up, but it's still his own division. And the WBC, they're cool, Golden Boy and Oscar, and there's a long history between the two, so they're gonna make some kind of commemorative belt for this. But it's, I mean, I don't have a problem. I mean, it's the business. I understand the business of it, but realistically, you're making a belt for what division is this? It's not super middleweight. Super middleweight's 168, right? It's not middleweight because middleweight's 160. So, I mean, I agree with Hunter in terms of Canelo's like, he's Willie Beeman. My name is Willie Beeman, who got the ladies. I got them screaming to all my fans. Got them dreaming. You can defeat me. You're dreaming. What? And flex your chest. Get Metrex. Canelo is really like the Willie Beeman of this. My name is Willie. Because remember on any given Sunday, he's like Willie Beeman. He's not even following the play. He's making his own plays. That's what Canelo's doing. He's just making his own rules, own weight classes. For the last 5 fights, you made your own weight class. 155 Canelo weight to 164.5 Canelo weight. It's just, I don't know. It's like there has to be a limit. You know what I'm saying? And like, catch weights are catch weights, but some of them aren't as noticeable, if you will. Like Canelo moving down 2 pounds and then Floyd moving up 4 or whatever. That's not as bad given who they were, their size and stuff. Cotto fighting Martinez at 159 instead of 160. Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson, guys who are now moving up to welterweight, they fought each other at like 143. You know what I mean? It's not as noticeable because Peterson had been at 40 for long. Garcia was planning on moving up to welterweight anyway. So, you know what I mean? It wasn't as big of a deal. But, I mean, these Canelo weights are just whatever his team wants. But again, you don't want to rely on strategic advantages and like do the fool with it, because like I said, when you fight Golovkin, he's not going to fight you at 164 because he said he wasn't coming to 155. So it's kind of in the same vein. Like, so you might as well just get used to fighting people under more regular rules. I'm okay with top billing. Like one of my favorite movies, Batman, the Tim Burton, the original one, Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton were in that movie. But if you look at the old school movie case, it says Jack Nicholson, he had the top billing, and then underneath it says Michael Keaton. So the movie is about Michael Keaton's character, but since Jack Nicholson was the bigger star, aka the A side, they gave him top billing, and Michael Keaton, out of respect, he's, you know what I mean, fan of Jack Nicholson or whatever, he conceded to the B side and let Jack Nicholson, the Joker, who even the movie's called Batman, even though it's called that, he let him have top billing. Stuff like that happens. I understand stuff like that, but all these catch weights and I get 80% of the money, you're a star, but like 80 flat rates. You know what I'm saying? He's Willie Beeman. He's just doing whatever he wants, but still a good fighter. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with Virgil Hunter? Is Canelo making a mockery of the sport? May 6th. What happens? How focused is Chavez Jr.? I will keep the coverage. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.